Welcome back to my Mental Health and Crime channel. My name is Huda London. This is for entertainment purpose only. This is the case of the Idaho quadruple murders. We all remember the Banfield video at 3:01. I believe the police was called to an alcohol offense. You can even see the timing here. That's the right timing. I'm shocked at what I'm seeing. It seems to be people sitting in the car. You can't see their faces, but you can clearly see there's somebody sitting in the front and somebody sitting in the back. Especially the back, you can see it clearly. So the question is, was these people inside the car under arrest? Or did they jump into the car while the police led the others to Banfield because they were talking and discussing in Banfield? I find this to be concerning. I find this to be strange. At first I thought I was seeing things, but I am sure that my eyes aren't deceiving me. There are people sitting behind. What is the deal with this whole thing? What did the undercover cops know allegedly about this crime? At the same time the Banfield alcohol offense was going on, we see the car headlights that is circled. You see it right in front of the victim's house. That was around 3 a.m. in the morning. Whose car is that? And that car fitted perfectly in the first timelines. The first 49 days, it was said that the victims were unlived between 3 to 4 a.m. You can see straight down that silver car, the police's car is there, the one that I just showed you all, with 1 or 2 people sitting inside the car. But if you look at the timeline, like I've said plenty of times, something happened between 2:52 to 3:17, 3:16 possibly. 2:52 was the last call made by Maddie to Jack, or somebody made it from Maddie and Kaylee's phone to Jack.
A grid search of this area just to clear it. I'm not saying that the murder weapon is back here, but primarily to make a determination if there's any physical evidence back here. Martha, this was a very gruesome murder scene, according to the medical examiner. According to the medical examiner, there was actually blood on the walls. And this was a very gruesome murder scene, according to the medical examiner. According to the medical examiner, there was actually blood on the walls.
I wonder why the detectives expanded the crime scene in the parking place of, was it Queens Road? The officers are studying the trees and bushes. I wonder if they found any evidence, if the suspect dropped anything, if there are any blood stains. And you all heard the medical coroner, was it? Or professional who said that there was blood on the walls? Trigger warning. So is that the reason that the police came up to the conclusion that it was a targeted attack at once? Was there something written on the walls, possibly? If there was liquid, red liquid on the walls, I believe Brian Christopher Kohlberger would have had a lot of red liquid on his clothes, etc. Why did they have to expand the crime scene? I wanted you all to see this article. I don't know which newspaper published this, but this was early in the case. Read the last two sentences. It says, police were seen measuring tire marks outside the crime scene house in Moscow, Idaho, on November 19th, almost 6 days after the mutilated bodies of Ethan Chapin, Madison Morgan, Xana Conodal, and Kaylee Congalvis were found dead. So were all of them mutilated? Trigger warning. That is shocking. Then it says, a furious source connected to the investigation told OK, the reality is this evidence was likely obliterated, and if the cops had done things correct, those tire marks would have been photographed, measured, and preserved on the day when the victims were found. So that means they collected the tire marks a couple of days after the victims were found. You can imagine how many cars have driven down the road. The time that elapsed between when the bodies were found and forensics team returned to the crime scene allowed crucial evidence to be corrupted by weather or activity. The well-placed source added, with no suspect, no murder weapon, and little to no leads, you have to ask the question, did police botch the investigation from the get-go? Ouch. All 4 victims were found stabbed to death inside a home near the campus. So the tire marks that they took could be another Hyundai Elantra from another day after the murders. So the police tampered basically with the crime scene. They basically messed up the whole investigation from the get-go. I believe